Set us off.
Send us the link.
Hey,
I'm gonna text you that.
hey,
So he can
hey,
just send
hey,
it.
hey, hey, hey.
Man, I wish I could do all the layers to that
I
song.
know.
I need all the instruments.
No,
Be able to vocalize them. That's tough.
it is.
Just go to
To be
Outspoken
Dougie
Network
Fresh.
on YouTube and you'll find
Be out here
it.
just making
to
all the
share.
different sounds.
How did he do it?
I don't know.
That's
I don't know.
that's a talented brother right there.
He need to do a little master class or something.
Something.
Cause ain't no way that shouldn't be shared.
Ain't no way.
That was all you had.
That's all I
Oh,
had. My bad. I wanted to keep going, but you know, this is how we start off every episode.
I get.
That's why I was just letting y'all
ready.
go.
What up? What up? What up? It's been
What's
a
good?
minute. How long it's been?
I ain't been broke in a minute. How long has it been?
It has been 2 weeks.
Man,
That's a good jump.
free talk about
All right, here we go.
What up?
What
Talk about.
Welcome into Outspoken.
Yeah.
It's been a minute, too long. It's been about 2 weeks.
2
A
weeks.
lot has happened in these past 2 weeks.
A lot.
We're going to get into as much as we can and squeeze it into this 1 hour, 15 minutes that we always give you. Of course, we are Outspoken. Say what you mean what you say. We're with you every Monday and Thursday. Please like and subscribe and share with the people if you haven't
subscribe,
to this point.
tell everybody.
Who that is?
This don't look like Marcus.
Nope. So today, Marcus will be here. Don't worry, he will be here at some point. But until then, first let's do our introduction before I introduce our special guest. I am, as always, Cordell.
E-Rock.
Deuce.
All right, and today our special
Some dudes
guest.
that don't look like Marcus.
You know him from the comment section.
Okay, you better hold it down.
He derives from New
You
Jersey.
get like 4-5.
Jersey. This is Steve. He's my brother. He's here for the holidays. So he's going to jump on with us so that way he doesn't have to be in the comments. He can get everything off he wants to.
Two Moody's on the show. Man.
Yes, he's got beef with Marcus, so we definitely gonna wait until that happens.
Oh, that's why Marcus ain't here. Okay.
We're not gonna slander Marcus's good name.
Well,
Marcus will be here if
Yeah.
he didn't have other obligations attention for.
I bet.
He ain't grown. You know
I
what I'm saying? He got bills to
I
pay.
bet he heard Debo coming. I heard. Yeah, I
This
bet.
Debo?
Yeah, apparently so. He didn't Debo this spot.
Don't take off my shirt right now. Come on.
Probably
All right.
wearing a Knicks hoodie.
Oh wow.
Hey, don't respect easy on the Knicks.
Oh,
Easy
wow.
on the Knicks.
All right, so let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and get into this. So it's been 2 weeks. I mean, we know what the rundown is. We're gonna get into the Ravens. We're gonna get into the Dolphins. We're gonna get into the Cowboys. We're getting into the AFC playoff picture. We're gonna get into
the Dolphins. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, we're gonna get into the Eagles. We're gonna get into the Chiefs.
So
We're gonna get into-
the Ravens on the same.
We're gonna get into it all. But what I want to know is what has happened in these past 2 weeks that you guys want to talk about that we aren't going to already talk about. That is the question. As I said, we're gonna get into all that stuff, but just to warm up, a little icebreaker for us. Anything that happened that's in smaller news that y'all want to.
I don't like that framing because I think Commanders are A block all the time. But I was very wrong.
On what show?
I was very wrong on this show. I was very wrong about Sam Howell being our future.
You know what?
It was a nice little month.
Let him have this.
I figured
Let him have this.
that there would be some trajectory, some growth. But he's regressed. He's not putting us in position to succeed. I'm seeing clips, running backs is wide open. EB scheming them. Open, they there. You seen it because Jacoby Brissett came in and started cooking. Brought us back both times, almost messed up our chance at Caleb. That's where I'm at right now. Yeah, we back at the quarterback market.
Ruining that chance.
That's what I'm talking about. We never make the decision to just be ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just need to bunker down and really commit to the growth of the future instead of being mediocre, settling for a 10 to 15 pick. Nah, we in the top 3. Go ahead, trade up. Go get our guy, Caleb Williams. Fight on. You know what I'm saying? Keep it pushing. New coach next year. It's going to be a whole new energy. Very excited.
I think they made the right decision.
What do you mean?
In terms of what?
A lot of teams normally what they'll do is they'll hold on to mediocre quarterbacks and take too long before they pivot.
Yes.
They saw it within 15, 16 weeks and decided enough was enough.
I'm glad that they thugged it out for that long because it looked like Jacoby would
glad you
win
did
us some
too.
games.
You were the only one pushing that Sam Howell.
No, I believe it was him and Marcus.
I don't think Marcus was that much of a believer.
No, because the discussion that we had was, did he earn the right to be the quarterback next year? And that was
He had already given his
and he and Marcus, I believe, were on the whole yes, and that's how we got into the whole what is a franchise quarterback. We got into a whole thing off of that whole thing.
I was wrong.
Yes.
I tried to project. I thought that there was going to be, the proper progressions, and it wasn't. Bad decisions. I don't know who it's on, who to blame for that, or maybe he just wasn't him. It was a very nice month. Maybe the Eagles' passing defense really is that bad. I don't know, but Sam Howell's not our guy for next year. Yeah.
One thing that I want to hit on real quick in the past 2 weeks, what has happened? Chargers new coach.
Oh yeah.
The firing did happen. Real quick, recent events.
We haven't been on since Brandon Staley got kicked.
Yes, no, we have not. It's been a minute. So Brandon Staley gone. I know E-Rob felt like this was long overdue. You agree, Steve?
Also picked him to go.
Oh no, absolutely. I mean, what they've done to Justin Herbert over the years is criminal.
I also picked the Chargers to go to the playoffs this year.
He did.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Herbert's obviously an elite talent, right? When you watch him, there's only a handful of quarterbacks.
Someone may not agree.
What?
There's only a handful.
He's
of
an elite. No. As a
what he
talent,
does.
sure. But that doesn't being an elite talent does not make you an elite quarterback.
And I guess what's always been holding him back: injuries and poor decision making, coaching decisions, poor play calling, things like that. And then they just straight up quit against the Raiders. That's what it looked like to me. So enough was enough. Long overdue.
It's tough when teams look deflated and what to put that on.
That game was embarrassing.
You also see what a coach and what an energy, what a new aura can do for a team. You've seen it with the Raiders and Antonio Pierce and what they got going on right now. They're like a completely different team.
Speaking of teams that look deflated, I want to talk about the Steelers and that organization and how their locker room has looked the last couple of weeks, because we saw it over the course of the season. They have these. Well, we saw it at the beginning. It's really been chapters with this team. Remember, the Matt Canada thing seems like so long ago, but it seemed like he was the culprit for everything that was going wrong with them. But in actuality, that might have been the smallest problem in the locker room, to be honest with you, given how the season played out. He's gone. The offense still looks bad, and George Pickens is still pouting. And then, he goes out. He has
Pickens drama. Yes.
Right. He goes out. He has one big game against the Bengals, and it's like, okay, yeah, the naysayers should shut up. Well, I mean, you caught passes. That's what you're supposed to do. What about your blocking? What about your blocking?
That was what the question was.
Right.
That was
I don't care. I know one question whether or not you can catch a pass and take it to the end zone. We question your effort.
Right. And I don't think when you don't have the ball.
When you don't have the ball. And I don't think that was answered against Cincinnati. But for the first time in a while, we see a Steelers organization. The locker room just looks in flux. What in the hell is he wearing?
That's this cultural garb. You better pull up pop. You got to
look at Joker.
Team that had been to playoffs in a little bit.
Wow.
They hadn't had expectations in a little bit.
So back to your Steelers.
Is it Halloween?
I'm about to say Pickens not blocking was
crazy.
That was very weak. I didn't like that he confidently said that he was making the right decision by protecting himself by not blocking.
And used Tank Dell.
Right.
Yeah. As the reason.
Right.
Like it's football. Like things are gonna happen. You pick to play this sport.
Your teammate was on the verge of scoring.
And you
gave up on the block.
Even just the foundation of you worked your whole life to be in this moment, and then you're gonna be here and be like, I don't want to do this play.
So what do you think is the real problem with Steelers?
Kenny Pickett.
They're young. They're a little too young.
So I actually don't think that's an issue. I think they are very talented on both sides of the ball.
No, they are.
I would say it's the same. What we were talking about with Sam Howell and the Commanders recognizing that early.
Okay.
The Steelers haven't done anything to address their quarterback situation, and it started from before Kenny Pickett. Big Ben was declining for a couple of years before they decided to do anything. Right. Mason Rudolph they brought in, obviously that didn't work, and they just took too long to address it. And here we are.
Yeah. I do think that there's a little too much youth in the locker room, especially on the offensive side of the ball.
But we've seen that it can work with the Texans. That's
what we have not seen this as a template that the Steelers follow. They've always had veteran leadership at key positions. Now they're depending on guys that are still on their first contract to really lead the team into the playoffs. So I think on the defensive side of the ball, I think it's fine, which is why you have not heard much from the defense this season in terms of, locker room turmoil. But you gotta Pickett at quarterback. You got Deontay Johnson. You got Pickens. You got Najee Harris. You got all these guys. You got Jalen Warren as your backup. Like you have all this youth on one side of the ball, and it's
at the skill position.
At the skill position, and you're asking these people to take on so much of responsibility that this organization has prided themselves on. So it'll be interesting to see if it works out. Now they're still in the playoff picture.
Somehow,
some way.
They're averaging 17 points per game.
They're still in the playoff picture, and they still have two winnable. Well, I don't want to say two. They definitely have one coming up this week on the road against Seattle.
Hopefully, Seattle gets that, but we'll get to that later.
They got Seattle and Baltimore. That's not your ideal two opinions compared to all the other AFC teams who are fighting for playoff spots. Their schedule is probably the toughest, if not the second toughest.
That's right. The QB market's gonna be crazy this offseason.
It's gonna be.
So now they got a nice little warm up out the way. Let's go ahead and get into the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
Let's start with the team that everybody likes to talk about. Let's talk about these Cowboys.
I don't like to talk about them.
I don't like talking about. I said the people like talking about them. All right.
You framed it as us.
Yeah, he
I
did.
said the people. I said let's talk about the team that the people like to talk about.
The people don't like to talk about the Cowboys.
All right. 5 people on here, I don't think none of them Cowboy fans. Maybe my father.
Anyways,
my
to the point, Cowboys have lost the last 2 since we've been here.
How y'all feel?
It's a whole new world because last time we were on here was Dak MVP. It was Cowboys Super Bowl aspirations.
That was a damn frustrating day. Lord Jesus, we was talking about Brock Purdy and Dak Prescott being MVP.
Yes. And we'll get to them.
Hey man,
we'll get to them.
Don't do that.
Well, I was on the Dak.
Yes.
I was on the Dak train, and we'll get to that later.
Okay.
I was.
Brock is still my MVP.
All right, hold on. So with that being said, Cowboys against the Bills, get the ball run down their throats.
Pause.
Done. Sure. All right. So then they go up against the Dolphins, and we see what happens again. They still can't win on the road.
Yeah.
So
question still unanswered.
How are we feeling about the Cowboys team after these last 2
They
weeks?
are who we thought they were.
And who did we think they were?
They're a team that's good at home, that can play against anybody, but when you tell them to go on the road and prove themselves, they come up short. They're exactly what we think they are.
I feel as though they just showed that they are still working with getting out of their own way. Like the Dolphins, they should have cooked the Dolphins.
If they fumbled at the goal line.
Fumbled at the goal line on the first drive of the game.
They should have gone up 14-3 or something.
Yeah,
and that's the whole fumble.
The game should have been over.
First drive of the game.
Like, I'm having no issue.
Come on now.
It's like I enjoy seeing the Cowboys shoot themselves in the foot. I'm not gonna miss no words.
Of course.
I don't like them. I hate them, in fact.
What?
But in terms of how they've looked, like that, last year he had an issue with turning the ball over.
Mm-hmm.
Year before and all the other years prior, he hadn't really had that issue. So it was fun to kind of hop on the train of him not getting the job done. But he's looked like a quality starter who can go and win a Super Bowl.
He's more than quality.
Of course. Like everybody needs a little bit of help. We've seen Patty Mahomes, now he needs a little bit of help. But like Dak can go win a Super Bowl. I hate that is a possibility for his future. But he can go and win a Super Bowl. He's made good decisions. He's been confident in his decisions. He's been able to extend plays, use his legs more. Like the Cowboys, they're a little intimidating. And they kind of gave away that game against the Dolphins.
So I guess my question is, for you guys.
Go ahead. Take over. Moody's hosting. That's what I'm talking about. Come on. Yes, sir.
Is it the fact that they're on the road, or is it the defenses that they're playing?
I think it's the fact that they're on the road, honestly, because it's a tale of two different teams when they're in AT&T when they're in AT&T Stadium and when they're not.
Right.
I think
the Bills, for example, the Bills historic over the past several years since McDermott's been there, they've been one of the top pass defenses in the league.
Right.
Right. Makes it very difficult for them. The Cowboys haven't been able to run all season with Pollard.
Right.
The 49ers defense is also another great defense. They also got blown out against them on the road.
Right.
Miami's defense has stepped it up since they've gotten Jalen Ramsey back. Key secondary player.
Mm-hmm.
So is it so much that they're on the road, or they just struggle against good pass defenses?
So there are only two victories on the
Sounds
road
good, Steve.
have been against the Panthers. Oh, the Panthers, the Chargers, and the Giants. Those are their only 3.
I think it's coincidental that all those teams, or just about all those teams that Steve named were on the road. It's just a matter of that. I mean, they're a team again when they're in the AT&T Stadium, they can play with anybody.
So I thought they should have had the Dolphins beat.
They absolutely should have had the
They shot
Dolphins
themselves
beat.
in the
They
foot.
shot themselves on the foot there.
You can also make the argument that it was more about the Dolphins not being ready too. Tua hasn't had the best track record against good teams neither. And he's not going to have Jalen this upcoming weekend, so we're going to get to see where they talk. I know.
But to me, he kind of sort of proved himself a little bit, especially late in game, getting them in position to win it late on that field goal. I think when it comes to the Cowboys, this is a team that's you're still wondering when can they show their true selves. You're still waiting for that moment, and you had these opportunities. You went on the road against the Bills a couple weeks ago. You obviously were not ready for that game. Mentally, you overlooked a physical team. They punched you in the mouth. They bullied you. And then you had an opportunity to answer back. And you go on the road and you have like costly mistakes early in the game, like fumbling the ball at the 1 yard line in a game that you lost by 2 points. Like
What can go wrong will go wrong.
All right. Let me get Marcus in on here. Marcus, we're talking Cowboys. We're talking since we last were on here 2 weeks ago. Dak was MVP. Everything was on the up and up, and in the 2 weeks that we've been gone, they got ran over by the Bills, and then they lose to the Dolphins. What is your take on the Cowboys at this point? Where do you stand with them?
I think like what Robinson, him saying that we don't know what the Cowboys' true self is. I think we do. They're really good at home. They're not good on the road against good teams. Like I think that's just who they are.
They are who we thought they were.
And that's why I think they'll beat the Lions at home because we've seen the Lions defense not be good on the road.
Yep.
So for me, I'm like, I think they can beat the Lions, but the true test for them, for me, won't be the Lions. It'll be whenever they go into the playoffs and they have to play a team on the road. Can they overcome that? And that team will probably be the 49ers the way it's looking right now in the divisional if they get past the Buccaneers for the wild card.
Yeah, so I don't think it changes anything about them. The only team I don't think they can beat is the 49ers. In the playoffs. All right,
so he just brought up the Lions at Cowboys. That's the game we're talking about. It's a good transition.
Well, I was going to ask real quick if this game was a playoff game and it was in reverse, if the Cowboys had to go to Detroit, would anyone feel confident about them going into Detroit?
Yes.
Knowing their road issues.
Yes. Because I think it's a little more nuanced than just being that on the road.
Detroit, we don't know what Detroit is in this moment.
Yeah, I trust the Cowboys in the playoffs more than Detroit.
And I think it's a terrible matchup for Detroit.
But you think their road issues will come to surface?
It's because I've seen it too many times. When they're on the road, like something always happens.
Yeah.
Even if they're the better team, like other than against the Buccaneers,
I don't think
they're not gonna win. They're gonna find a way to lose.
I don't think the Lions offense is ready to play the Cowboys defense in the playoffs.
It doesn't matter if they can run the ball.
They're gonna turn the ball. I believe that they will
to your point, I don't think the Lions are gonna go in there passing. I think they're going to try to duplicate what the Bills have done, what the Eagles have been successful against them at times.
Try to run the football.
They're going to just run. They have Gibbs and Montgomery,
which is what Dan Campbell. This is what he wants,
and that's what they do normally.
Yeah.
What's the best part of the Lions' offense?
Their offensive line.
Yeah, run football.
Which is why it's a bad matchup. But the reason why I don't think it'll be successful is because the Lions' pass defense isn't the greatest. If the Cowboys go up and they get an early lead, now you have Jared Goff having to deal with that pass rush.
Okay, but we've seen the Cowboys against the Cardinals not play well. Cardinals don't have a good defense. We've seen them against the Eagles when they went on the road, still don't have a good defense, and they put up numbers, but they found a way to lose. Like obviously, like the Miami Dolphins have a better defense, but like we said, fumbling at the 1 yard line, always like going for field goals instead of touchdowns. Like it's something about them on the road that they just find a way to lose. And that's why I would have the Lions over them just based off of the Lions' physicality and what they like to do, which is run the ball. That's not something that the Cowboys are good at defending in certain instances.
So for this matchup tonight, or not tonight, sorry, this weekend.
Saturday night.
where we going? How we feeling about Saturday night? Lions at Cowboys.
I would. This would definitely be a game I would pick the Lions to kind of sort of steal, but I think there's such a bad taste in Dallas' mouth over the last couple of weeks that they're going to try to prove themselves this week, and I think they beat Detroit at home.
Yeah, I want to believe in the Lions more. I haven't seen it. I feel like in games like this where you have not only a Cowboys team that has been embarrassed over the last couple weeks, their brand is a little tainted, but the Lions also haven't been consistent against good teams. I guess it is more about the Ravens blew them out. Let me look at the Lions schedule real quick. I got the Cowboys.
The Ravens blew them out.
No, so I would take the Cowboys. I think the matchup favors them. Detroit's defense, for example, they're 24th in points per game allowed. They're 22nd in yards per game allowed. They're 23rd in passing yards per game allowed.
You better get a number, Steve. Come on now.
I think all of that favors Dak and the Cowboys offense as a whole. And as a result, I know the Lions are probably going to come out trying to run, but I think what's going to end up happening is that they're going to fall behind. They're going to have to put the ball in Goff's hands to win, and that's when Micah Parsons and the Cowboys defense is just going to eat.
So for me, I'm looking at it. I know what happened against the Bills for the Cowboys, but last week against, what did we say? We said that the Dolphins were the 6th ranked rushing team or something like that?
And they're up there.
Right? Right? And they only gave up 91 yards rushing to the Dolphins. They lost, but they only gave up 91 yards, which is how I felt it would happen. I had this conversation last week with Robinson, and I said, I don't care who it is they were going to play. I felt like they would have something to prove after all the talk that had happened. It's like they have their pride. They're not going to let another team back-to-back run all over them. Right. And so they held them to under 100 yards, so at least giving them that acknowledgement. So seeing that, that's why I'm like, okay, I have faith that, again, this week coming up, I feel like the only team that they can't stop the run against are teams who are dangerous in the passing game, subtracting the Cardinals.
I was going to say, that was the first team that came down. Wait a minute.
Subtracting the Cardinals, I'm like, because I understand why it was hard for you to stop the run against the Bills, because you put more of your focus that entire week on stopping Josh Allen in the passing game. Right. No way did you think that would be the case. Eagles, same situation. You can, if you want to stop the run, sure. But Devontae
you thought that was the case for Miami too?
What, with Miami?
Yeah, Miami's run game has been good all year. So you think that was
No, I thought they put extra emphasis on stopping the run this week because of what happened. That's what I was saying. They put extra emphasis to not make that mistake against this game.
It might be why Tua had a good game.
The Lions are weird though too. Like they came back a little bit against the Vikings last week. They came back against the Bears.
Yeah, but listen to the teams that you're naming.
No, I understand. I get you. That's why I was like, because even like they let the Saints come back. They were up 21-0 on the Saints. Let the Saints come back. Yep. Like it's just there's a spectrum. Like when they're good and when their formula works, it's a very, even for any team, it's a very hard formula to stop when you have the ball and you're able to control the clock. Just the pace of play, situational football. They're able to do that, then they'll be fine in any situation. But it's been very spotty.
Okay, so flipping to the other side, the winner of the Cowboys-Dolphins game. Let's talk a little bit about the Dolphins past 2 weeks. So the last time we talked about them, I don't even know if we got a chance to talk about them because we did the last time we were on, it was the preview for the Tennessee Dolphins game.
Good Lord.
Really? That Monday Night Football.
That was Thursday night.
Right? No, that was Monday night.
That was Monday night.
That was a Monday night doubleheader.
That was a doubleheader.
The Packers Giants for the other game.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that, we got a lot to discuss. So they lose to Tennessee.
Yeah.
Then they go ahead and they beat the Jets and they beat the Cowboys.
Sure.
How do you guys feel about them after their win, after their loss? Mixed bag, whichever way you want to hit. Yes, the Dolphins.
They're the walking wounded right now, and I don't like it. This is the worst time of the year to have Tyreek on a gimpy ankle and Jalen Waddle getting ready to miss a very important game because of the injury. He
won't be healthy for the rest of the year.
Exactly. They're a team right now. They are looking at injuries at the worst possible time.
At the worst positions.
At the worst positions, yes. So they're gonna have to truly prove themselves not only the this week and next week against the Bills at home, but they're going to have to prove themselves in the playoffs because it's quite possible that they're only going to have one, maybe both, and neither one of them are going to be 100%. So they're going to have to flex their muscles a little bit.
This is a big Mike McDaniel week for me. Big week for me in terms of how he's going to get Tyreek the ball, and if he can't get him the ball, how to utilize the speed. I feel like this is going to be a big game for him, and we can really see what he's working with. Going and winning a big game, I feel like it's going to be on his back, putting Tua in a position to succeed. Tua hasn't shown us that he is consistently beating good teams. He beat the Cowboys last week, but I feel like the Cowboys gave that game away more so than Tua went and going to get that game. He did his job in the moments where he needed to, go ahead and get a touchdown late in the fourth quarter. But I want to see, we haven't seen Tua put the team on his back. I feel like it's going to be a Michael.
You'll never see that.
Maybe. But again, then it's going to fall back on the coach making sure he's putting them in.
I feel like with the weapons that he has, I don't think people will see him in that light unless he throws for like damn near 400 yards.
But it's not even
not having Waddle. This is an opportunity for it to be like, all right.
I mean, but we said that against the Jets.
Yeah, against the Jets, he didn't have
Hill. He didn't have Hill, but
and he did it.
He did it.
Still, like
he did.
So I always
they don't feel like he's that guy.
I always felt that people were a little too hard on Tua. I do think that he's a very, very good quarterback.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm right here.
I'm a Bills fan. I can admit this. What's concerning, just regarding the last 2 weeks, even though they beat the Cowboys, if you look at the difference between their offensive production against the bad teams that they typically beat versus the good teams that they typically lose to, and even when they beat the Cowboys, their offense wasn't that great.
Nope.
And that's the most concerning part about them. For that reason, I don't think they've proved anything. Their offense still struggles, which is a concern, especially come playoff time, because it's just going to only be good teams, and they're an offensive team.
Is there anything?
Right?
Is there anything they can improve over the next couple of weeks?
Yeah.
Yes.
You beat Baltimore.
They need to win.
Just simply beating them.
No, for me, as a Bills fan, and just I've seen like when the Patriots were dominating the division, right? And you would make all these moves and like do different things, and then it's like, oh man, I still can't beat them. They need to win the AFC East. If they don't, that is a shot to.
It doesn't feel good.
Like just everything that they've tried to do over the past couple years.
3 games.
They were up 3 games. They blew the Titans game. They was a 14-point lead in under 3 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, no one was even considering them losing that game.
Nope.
It was can you win both of the Cowboys and the Ravens games, or split it at least? Let's split it. But then they lost the Titans game, and now the AFC East is wide open. So yeah, even if they lose to the Ravens, they absolutely have to win next week. But they can make a statement this week by beating the Ravens, which I don't think.
Here he go.
So hold
I'm
on.
just saying.
No, I ain't got
Jets, your Jets Tua, they got a fumble that they got the ball inside the 5-yard line. Then the Jets turn the ball over on downs and get the ball back. They went and got a field goal. Negative 11 yards for the Jets, punted again. Then the Dolphins punted. Negative 3 yards for the Jets, punted. One play, 60 yards for the Jets. I'm saying like Tua hadn't had to work for that. Like it was really like you know what I'm saying. Like that's all.
Work for it. You still got to get the ball in the end zone.
No,
That's true.
But
no.
We all look and see like, all right, this quarterback.
Hold on. So if you're going to say that, then you can't like the win that y'all had against the Jets. Like you can't like what was that? Is that just nothing? Just a game?
It was just a solid win. Nothing to brag home about.
Okay, we're not bragging.
No, but
we hadn't seen Tua put.
But we said that without Hill, it was like okay, they scored 30 points.
He had to do much. They got the ball inside the 1 yard line for their first touchdown, and it just didn't score.
all right.
There wasn't anything he had to do.
We all agree he's not an MVP. We can all move on. Tua is not an MVP. That was not where I was trying to shake this. I didn't want to stir you up.
Like, who said that?
For me,
I didn't say that. I remember MVP being
I
one.
don't think anybody brought that up.
yeah, for me,
Maybe this was November.
Tua,
Maybe.
the Dolphins, they haven't proven to me still that they can beat a good team because the team that they beat was a team that can't be good on the road. So
They were like the Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, I was like, somebody has to win this game.
Somebody.
That was where I was with it. I was like, no matter what, neither one of you would have proven to me anything. One team, if the Cowboys won, I would be like, well, you beat a team that can't beat a good team, so I don't know what you want from me. And it's the other way around. The Dolphins won. Well, you beat a team that can't win on the road, so what do you want from me?
I would have felt differently if their offense had like an explosion.
So this game to me, that's how I went into this game.
At the end of the day, these teams, like at this point, it doesn't really matter as much what they do in the regular season because
that's not what I'm saying.
No, because I feel like okay, if you say if they beat the Ravens, but it's not
that's
how
different.
It's not how you see it.
No.
If the Dolphins beat
different.
the Ravens 17-14, but Tua doesn't have a good game.
No, but that's fine because you just need to beat a good team, but not a team that can't win on the road. Like if you beat the Ravens, that to me is more legit than you beating the Cowboys 100%. Who can't win on the road and they're on the road.
But they're still a good team.
They're not a good team away. So what do you want me to tell you?
They're still a good team. Now you're saying, okay, I need them to see. That's like saying, okay, I need you to beat a good team that can run the ball because you're not.
No.
Yeah, like that's the way it's not saying.
No. If you beat the Cowboys,
no. Here, I got a good way to explain this.
Go ahead.
It's like Shaq versus Chris Dudley in a free throw shooting contest.
Good Lord.
Someone's got to win.
They're both under 50% shooters for their careers. Don't quote me on those numbers, but somewhere around there, right? Someone has to win the free throw contest. That's what he's saying.
But they're actually good.
Yeah. So, but no. So, but
I get that analogy. You're still a good team because if they didn't win.
That was a great analogy.
If they didn't win,
like
that game, then we still would have said
that it makes sense.
The Dolphins can't beat a good team.
So again, what I would have wanted to see from the Dolphins, just because to me, I don't think they can win in that manner. Would have been more of an offensive explosion.
Yeah,
and that would have changed my mind.
Okay, but like, what if they're not that kind of team? Like, what if they're not
that kind of team with all the bad teams that play?
That's because they're bad teams. But if a good team, you're not.
You're not what? So the 49ers stomped out a good team. The Bills stomped out. Well, no, they didn't stomp. Yes, they did stomp out
the Dolphins. You just need them to see
they got stomped out by another good. Okay, so is the Dolphins a good team?
Yes,
they're a good team. I've never said they're a bad team.
What if they're just a bad team on the road? Because all their losses have been on the road, except for the Titans. But that's not.
No,
that's not against a good team. So
that's what you're saying. So you're trying to change the narrative to that they just can't win on the road like the Dolphins can't win.
That's what I'm asking, because if you're saying that the Cowboys aren't a good team because they
the Dolphins
beat
lost
good
to
teams on the
Bills,
road, the Dolphins can't.
Titans and who's the other team?
The Dolphins only have two.
Bills, Chiefs, Titans, and who's the other team?
Eagles.
Eagles, but it's on the road. All of them.
Okay, so my counter.
Dolphins or Titans was at home.
No,
Eagles was on the road. Bills on the road.
Like, and all their losses have been against good teams on the road, except for the Titans.
They lost that home.
Correct.
Yeah.
No, that was in
Germany.
Oh,
hold on. So my counter to that is they have not beaten a good team since last year, September.
I think
this is deeper than just right now. This has been a consistent thing, not just this year.
So what I'm asking,
we're still saying that?
I mean, it's the truth. I'm not lying to you. I'm not lying to you.
This Cowboys victory,
right?
This doesn't
absolve it to me because of the analogy that he just said. Like someone had to win the game,
and the Cowboys did that come away.
So what he's saying.
So if they beat you guys next,
if they beat the Ravens, you don't even have to get to me. If you beat the Ravens this week,
well, even if they lose to the Ravens but beat you guys,
then yes,
they're not proven.
Right? Yeah, beat win one of these two.
He just said the Cowboys are a good team because they have not beaten a good team on the road.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I said they're not a good team away. They're not a good team when they are away. That's what I said. They're not. Their numbers are completely different away. So they are not a good team away. That's all I was saying about the Cowboys.
They're not the same team. The Cowboys
are not the same team.
The Dolphins and the Cowboys are the exact same team.
I wouldn't say that because the Cowboys.
Cowboys have an elite defense.
What have the results said? The results have said that these teams can beat a good team at home, but they cannot beat a good team on
Like
the
I said,
road.
I think
and they both destroy.
No, time out.
Hold on, and they both destroy teams that aren't good.
No, so I think it's a little, like I said, it's a little more. There's a little more to it. Okay, like the
context
49ers going. I would still bet on the 49ers beating the Cowboys in Dallas. I would still bet on
Because the
these
49ers are a
teams.
great team.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like it's
But
not as I don't think it's as simple as home and the road.
These are good teams. Like the 49ers and the Ravens are the only great teams.
Look,
we see that they can beat any and everybody home.
Okay,
all right, hold on.
What are you gonna say?
Hold on, time out. Who do we gotta move this on.
Okay.
Who do you guys have? Do you have the Dolphins winning this week?
Hell no.
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
Even
know
with-
why.
Even with
One more-
Waddle out there,
one more
I'm still
question.
Like,
Who's the best team in the NFL?
the
The
Niners.
Ravens.
Okay. I've been telling you that for weeks. That the Ravens were the best team. No, you had them at your 3.
No, I
You
didn't.
had you had Eagles, Niners, and then Ravens.
Didn't prove anything. That was a
but
fluke game.
once
Didn't prove anything.
It was a fluke
Niners
game.
beat the
Didn't prove anything to
Ravens,
me.
I had Niners, Ravens,
Prove anything to
Eagles.
me. Mind your business, okay?
It's not my business.
We're-
Ask the question.
We're sitting pretty in the NFC, okay?
All right.
You're getting ready to watch. You're ready to watch us.
Wait, are you a Falcons
I'm
fan?
a Niners fan.
Oh my God, you're a Falcons fan. Let's not do this. You're a Falcons fan.
I'm a Niners fan.
Let's stop this.
I'm a Niners
He's
fan.
a Niners fan.
I'm a
Guys,
Niners fan.
everyone out there is a front runner.
I'm a Niners fan. I'm always been a Niners fan.
So does anybody here have the Dolphins winning this week?
No.
Everybody, it's a clean sweep.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right,
So your point of results are results. The Vikings last year won a whole bunch of one-score games,
Correct.
got knocked out the first
Correct.
round of
The
the playoffs.
Steelers.
And then
Asking you, what's the difference between the Dolphins and the Cowboys?
The Cowboys.
What is it?
You have to look a little. Yeah. It's
Like, I need to know because the results are the same.
I would have them in the same tier.
Oh,
too.
no,
I
yeah,
think
they're about
them,
equal.
The Lions and the Cowboys are on the same tier.
So look, they're about equal.
Same
Yeah.
difference.
And I asked that the Dolphins beat a good team in the Cowboys. He said they're not a good team because they played on the road.
What?
Well, I'm like, well, then people can't count any team beating the Dolphins
No.
as a good win because they won when the Dolphins won at home.
No, the Chiefs.
The Chiefs,
Okay, well, the Chiefs one was
neutral
side.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
So
sorry
that's
about
what I'm saying is if people have to treat that the Cowboys was not a good win, as he said, because they were on the road.
I just said it
and they're
doesn't
not-
prove anything to me. That's all I said.
And my
It
thing
doesn't
was,
I asked you
prove
if they
anything.
were a good team. You said no.
I said
Yeah, I
that
know,
because
but
they played on
no,
the road.
the Cowboys
I'm-
gave that game.
I'm just saying
Gave the game.
that it doesn't
yes,
change
but
my
we've seen it.
thoughts.
But we've seen them. We've
It
seen
doesn't
the
change how I
Dolphins.
view them.
We've seen the Dolphins lose games like this before.
We've seen them lose at home.
Well, yeah, and they checked both of them. They won at home,
Especially
and
in
they
teams like Buffalo.
and they beat it. They won in a
Don't say
game
that.
that they normally don't win in, where the
Except for
passing game is
except for
not
last
lighting
season,
them up.
but
So
All right.
they found a way to win. I got to
All right.
give them credit for that.
So let's move on to the next argument because I'm sure this may happen. All right. So the two teams that were in the Super Bowl last year, neither one looking hot over the last 2 weeks. So who are you more concerned about, the
All right.
Eagles or the
I'll
Chiefs?
start this one.
Go ahead.
I'll start this one
Why are you so excited to start this?
I'm excited to start this one too.
because
I'm fired up about this.
because
What is your tie? I understand your tie. What is your tie?
because the Kansas City Chiefs, all right, they have been a team that I have questioned from day one, and they are proving themselves to me. Okay, they are showing themselves to me right now. They are not Super Bowl material. No one is scared of them right now. They are a team that can be beat.
I love hater energy.
There's no hater
No
energy.
hater energy.
They are not who you think they are.
The excitement that you had to lay that out there felt.
Well,
No.
yes, because the excitement of being right, not the
Exactly.
excitement of not hate.
Exactly.
Excitement
Because
of being
coming
right.
into the season,
We were called foolish.
Yes.
for our thoughts.
That's not true.
No.
The public perspective was
No.
15's there. Don't worry about
Don't
it.
worry
I
about
had
it.
them
They
losing
gonna
the
find a
divisional
way.
round, too.
Okay.
I had a Ravens Bills conference championship. I was right there with you.
Yeah, I had Ravens Chiefs.
Of course you would.
Of course he would.
And it's still.
So, all right. So Chiefs.
Chiefs.
I'd say Chiefs.
You're more concerned about the Chiefs than the Eagles.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, like, we got to call a spade with the Chiefs. They've been on this remarkable run for what, 5-6 years now.
Mhm.
and it's been largely on the back of Mahomes and the offense. They're at a point right now where they have to find new ways to win, and I'm not sure they can do it this late into it.
It's weird because the Chiefs,
And it's not his fault.
I think
It's not his fault. I'll give him some bail.
the Chiefs are in worse shape, but I'm more concerned about the Eagles because in terms of what their trajectory is, how questionable the NFC has been, and them losing their identity.
No, right. But that's why I don't think it's the Eagles. The Eagles are who I've always thought they were for the last 2 years. The NFC is a much weaker conference in comparison to the AFC.
Right.
Last year, they were very much like the Dolphins. A lot of those questions were asked about them in terms of like, well, who have you beaten, things like that, stuff like that. They just ran through the NFC. They had an easier schedule. The NFC East isn't really that good. Like it's all right, I guess. Eagles, Cowboys, what? The Giants making the playoffs last year was a complete fluke, proven.
I mean,
they had no business. But I'm just saying, like the Giants being in the playoffs last year should tell you all you need to know about that conference and that division. And so with that, like, I think the Eagles.
Yes.
Yeah. I think the Eagles will be fine, right? Because they're going against just inferior opponents overall. Whereas the Chiefs, like you look at the AFC is just it's like a murderer's row.
No. AFC is not murderer's row right now.
I think it's
if everybody was healthy,
I think
that would be a different story.
That's fair.
Yes, I will give you that. I will give you that.
The Chiefs are not banged up.
No.
He means that there's
I get that. I get that, but my point.
You still have Allen. You still have Jackson. The
Chiefs are not banged up, and I still don't trust them in the banged up AFC. They're the healthiest team out of the top teams. I still don't trust them.
The healthiest?
Yes.
They're the healthiest.
All right. So fine. Yes, correct. There's a lot of injuries, but you still have to deal with the Dolphins. You still have to deal with the Bills. You still have to deal with the Ravens. I don't trust them against
any of those teams. I don't trust them.
Lawrence has shown that he can get hot, even though I'm not a believer in him.
I don't trust him. I don't trust him.
He gets hot at certain moments.
As a matter of fact, they should have lost to the Patriots 2 weeks ago.
I mean, CJ Stroud has been.
They should have been on
his back. Like,
they should no. They only beat the Patriots by 10.
I'm just trying to say, like, who else is there in the NFC?
If they would have played,
they're both talking at the same time.
They should have lost to the Patriots 2 weeks ago. They lost to the Patriots on the road by 10 in a game that they should have put the Patriots away, and they didn't because they had issues. Remember coming out of halftime, Rashee Rice fumbles on the first play of the second half. He gets it back, but they
said that they should have lost when they pretty much controlled the game the whole time.
They did not control the game. They had a late turnover to let them get back in it.
Look, but do they trail?
That's not controlling the game.
You're not losing.
But you're letting the other team back in. You're letting that 3-win team back into it, and they can almost beat you.
I get that, but do we really think, okay,
were you convinced with that win? Were you impressed with that win?
It's just a win. It wasn't nothing.
They can't afford just wins right now. They need to look a certain way.
No.
Yes, they.
I've gotten past the point of them needing to look a certain way. Do I think that am I concerned for them trying to win a Super Bowl? Yes. But am I concerned for them like getting into the playoffs? Or
no, that's a given. They're in the AFC West.
They could lose. They could lose the wild card. They could lose this. They could lose the division.
I'll tell you exactly how they could lose the wild card right now.
No, they could lose the division.
They won't be matched up.
The sixth seed is likely the Bills or Dolphins right now.
Yeah, and that's the team going in the Arrowhead.
6th seed is likely Bills or Dolphins.
The Chiefs are losing the AFC,
but
they've already beaten the Dolphins. But that's another game they didn't put the Dolphins away. They were up 21-0 at half. You didn't score at all in the second half. You let them climb back in a neutral site.
That's not even saying nothing crazy.
That they could lose, sure, but do I see it?
How the hell you don't see it?
So what if they get matched up against the Browns?
All right,
and the Browns defense.
Hold on. This is perfect because this is the next topic of conversation. Let me just get there. AFC playoff picture. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the whole shebang.
The Raiders and Broncos have 7 wins. They're not winning the AFC.
Hold on. What said what?
No, going up against his point. His point was that he's not concerned about them. Of course, they're going to get into the playoffs. They play in the AFC West.
That's all I'm saying. I was saying there was not a shot for me. There is a mathematical chance, but the Chiefs aren't losing the division. That's awesome.
They're not.
They're not.
No, they're not.
And that's up to you. Could I see the Bengals beating them next week or this week? Sure can. I can absolutely see the Bengals beating them.
If the Chiefs lost out, do you see the Raiders winning out?
The Raiders play the Colts. Can I see them beating the Colts?
Yes.
Yes, I can.
I can see the Raiders winning.
I got to see who the
They got the Broncos.
and then the Broncos. Bro, I can see them winning the next two. That would be
They
crazy.
had like 170 yards of offense. They only beat the Chiefs because the Chiefs gave them 2 turnovers for touchdowns.
They
Their
won.
offense is not good.
They won.
Okay.
No.
They won.
They won.
That's the name of the game.
No, this is
It's a different criteria for certain teams.
This is different. We're not talking about the Raiders and the Saints. We're talking about the Chiefs.
We're not exactly.
It's two different things.
criteria.
But what I'm simply saying is, I can see the Chiefs losing their next two, and I can see the Raiders winning their next two. And if something like that happens, then they are now a wild card, and they are no longer the AFC West champ. That's all I'm saying.
And then they'll have to do what, Cordell?
That every game is on the road,
which is something they have not.
Every game.
We were bringing up before the season. Everybody was like, "Oh well, it doesn't make a difference. They're gonna play an Arrowhead."
Can you at least?
They don't look right. They don't look good.
I said that I'm the most concerned. If you were talking about the Chiefs and the Eagles, I'm most concerned with the Chiefs. Why? Because I feel like everybody outside of Pat Mahomes has played lesser.
That isn't a road or home thing,
whether
though.
it's Kelsey, whether it's Tony, whether it's the offensive line, whether it's Pacheco, whether it's everybody offensively has played lesser.
That's been whether or not they're home or away, though. I don't think the fact, like, people have been making a big deal, like,
it doesn't matter. Yeah,
haven't played a road playoff game.
AFC playoff picture.
Oh, sorry.
AFC playoff picture.
Just to finish.
No, AFC playoff picture. This is where we are. Chiefs
of buns.
Sorry, my bad. Ravens
that was crazy.
And Dolphins are the only ones who have clinched a playoff berth.
1 and 2 right now. Right?
1 and 2 as of right now. Ravens clinched the one.
I love
seed?
that for Jamar.
No,
They haven't.
They win Sunday.
Okay.
This is for the 1 seed, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This is for more than just the 1 seed, but okay.
We'll
talk about it.
We're about to get into it all.
Okay.
This can go in very. This can change.
There's a lot.
A lot can be shaken up in this game.
1 seed.
Okay.
Yeah, this game has a 1 seed lockup for the Ravens. It could be
the Dolphins in the 1
it could put the Dolphins in the 1 seed, but not locked up.
Yeah.
Or it can
Win the
make
AFC East.
They would win the AFC East if they win the game. At the 3 seed right now, we have the Chiefs, our beloveds, and we have the Jaguars at the 4, Browns at 5, Bills at 6. Put some respect because you didn't have them making it to the playoffs because you was a doubt.
Call them out. Call them out. Call them out.
Yeah.
Falcons going to win the division.
2 weeks later, Bills are right sitting there, control of their destiny.
Hater.
Yes, they are in control. I don't have them winning out. The Bills winning out. I don't see that happening.
Hater.
But okay, that's your energy.
Hater.
They haven't lost yet. They have not lost since I told you that. No, that was before. I told you coming up the bye. I said the win out, and you said so. You think, Cordell, that they're gonna be the dump? They're gonna be the Chiefs and the Cowboys?
I still don't have them winning out.
Yeah.
I got them split with the Dolphins.
Whatever. You didn't even have them beating the Chiefs and Cowboys. So I don't even want to hear
I thought
that.
they would lose to 1.
Yeah,
Matter of fact, they should have beat the Eagles too.
They really, that's 60-yard field goal, but whatever.
They should be on like a four game.
It is what it is.
They should be on a 5-game winning streak right now.
So yes, Bills at 6, Colts.
Will take it.
Colts at 7. Right. So Colts being at 7 right now, they are 8 and 7, along with the Texans, Bengals, Steelers, all at 8 and 7, and with the Raiders playing the Colts. We gotta put them in the hunt as well because if they beat them, then obviously they jump considerably in these rankings. CJ Stroud is coming back for this week.
So here's my prediction.
Because if they beat,
I don't know how they
have Texans and Bengals if they win.
Yes, but they immediately jump the Colts. So the Colts, I think, fall down pretty. The Colts fall down.
The Colts drop a lot.
Yeah.
I don't think the Raiders.
Yeah. So yes. So with that being said, how do we?
Yeah. So I think it's going to end up being Ravens, first seed, top seed.
One seed.
They're going to clinch this weekend. Number 2 seed, my Buffalo Bills.
The 2 seed?
All right. All they have to do is win out, and the Dolphins lose to the Ravens. That's it.
Yes, it is. If they win the division, then
They become the 2 seed.
They jump right to the 2.
They jump to
They'll
the 2
be-
because they own.
Can you imagine these two?
They own the
The Ravens, the Bills
tiebreaker
get the
over
2
the
seed.
Chiefs.
Can you imagine?
Mhm.
Can you
They
imagine
own the tiebreaker over the Chiefs.
the Moody
which will
brothers?
be-
Jesus.
They'll play a role.
Chiefs will be 3. Jaguars will be 4.
Yeah.
5 will
Bills
be
won the
5.
Jaguars don't
Huh?
lose the division.
Bills are 9-6.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. Browns will be 5. Dolphins at 6, setting up Dolphins at Chiefs first round.
Oh, can you
Seven.
hold on? Can you repeat that? So 1 is Ravens, 2
Oh,
is Bills.
we're giving predictions now.
Yeah, 1 is Ravens, 2 is Bills,
Yeah.
Dolphins.
3 is Chiefs,
Dolphins
3
at
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
4 is Jags,
4 Jags.
5 was
Browns.
okay. They're already there. Yep. 5 Browns, 6 Dolphins, and who is your 7?
7 is Texans. I love CJ Stroud. And I just think they play the Colts week 18. And I think that's going to be for the 7th seed. And I have the Texans winning that game.
Okay, 7 seed laid out. So 7. So the Bills will be playing the Texans in your prophecy,
Yes.
with the Dolphins playing the Chiefs and the Browns playing the Jaguars.
Yes.
All right. Anybody? Any other takers?
Well, I got Ravens at 1,
Yep.
Dolphins at 2,
Mm-hmm.
Chiefs at 3, Texans at 4.
Texans
Yeah,
at
them
4,
winning the
winning the
division.
division.
Yeah, because I think. the
Oh,
Jaguars
Lawrence
will
is out right now. Lawrence is
He's
questionable
he's
for this
game
week.
Questionable,
He's
but
game
Stroud-
time.
but
Stroud is
they've
back.
lost four.
Stroud's
They've
back.
lost 4 straight, and the
Yeah,
way
they look funky right now.
You
Yeah.
said you got them losing to the Panthers this week?
No. No. But they're gonna lose in week 18.
The Tennessee, right? Don't they have Tennessee?
Is it Tennessee?
Yeah, I think it is Tennessee.
Yeah. Well, in Tennessee.
Texans got Houston, or Texans got
Well, let me tell you,
Tennessee and at the Colts.
if the Texans win this week and no, the Jaguars aren't
No,
going to lose to the
they ain't
Panthers. So
losing.
yeah, it's going to have to be next week.
So yeah, week 18. So I got Texans winning the division. So they'll be the 4 seed.
Okay.
Browns are gonna stay at the 5.
Yep.
Bills at 6.
Okay.
And then 7th seed will be Steelers.
But that also sets up Bills at Chiefs again.
Yep.
And Chiefs are in trouble. Well, card. Either way.
No matter what,
man.
Y'all, Eric's ready, or you want?
I got Baltimore 1.
Okay.
Miami.
Actually, you know what?
Miami
I have to say
2.
Steelers now because they got to play the Ravens in week 18. They ain't winning 2 straight.
Well, if the Ravens win this week, they might sit everyone because
they
they'll clinch.
They ain't gonna do that.
Miami. So Baltimore 1, Miami 2, Kansas City 3.
Ooh.
I'm gonna side with Marcus here. I'm gonna take Houston to win the division. They get the 4 seed.
Okay.
5 will be Cleveland. 6 Buffalo. Ooh, 7 seed. Man.
Looking at Colts, Steelers, Jaguars.
7 seed. You have Colts, Texans, Bengals, Steelers, Raiders.
Based on the teams that he named, you're looking at Colts, Steelers, Jaguars, and Raiders.
Jeez. God damn.
Do the Steelers win out? Does
Yeah,
Mike
no,
Tomlin
they got
keep
the Ravens. The
his
Ravens with that week 18.
500?
I don't see them sweeping the Ravens because I think that's what the Ravens don't want. They don't want to be swept by the Steelers, and that's what they'll play.
Steelers are 4-1 in the division too.
Yeah.
My God,
That's
this
crazy.
is hard. This is hard.
The Titans
Is it-
play a
is
very
it-
interesting role in this.
Okay, what do the Raiders need to do in order to get in?
Win
Win
out.
out.
Outside of win
The
out.
Raiders?
No, they need help.
It's just-
I mean, what
they
are they-
can't.
they
They,
need
no. They,
Who can they leapfrog?
They have
There we
they
go.
will-
I'll tell you.
they will
I can help
leapfrog
you.
the Colts because they play the Colts. Now.
Look,
Yes.
so they're 7 and so they need all these teams to lose out.
Okay.
Essentially.
So very
Because they're 7 and 8. So
yeah, very
even if
unlikely.
if they win this week and all those teams win, then actually I don't know what their tiebreakers are. So
That's
I'd have
what
to
I'm
go
saying.
look
That
at
was
that.
it. They would have the tiebreaker over the
Who?
over the Colts because they would beat them.
Yeah, but what
Yeah,
about
they
that's
had-
fine. But what about the Steelers, Bengals, Texans, and Jags?
They don't have it over the Steelers. They do not.
Okay.
And then I don't think I don't know about the Bengals because they never played head to head.
Okay. So that's what I'm saying. So for the Raiders to get in, they're probably going to need a couple teams to lose.
Okay. I'm going to say the Steelers in some funky way.
It always happens.
I think they do. I think the Ravens rest their guys in the final week.
Well, they don't want to get swept by the Steelers.
So you got So hold on. So you got the Steelers beating the Seahawks this week.
So then what happens to the Jaguars in these situations?
Nobody's saying the Jags.
No. I'm saying like so if you have but you have the Texans winning the division, fine. But what happens to the Jaguars?
I think
you guys think they're winning all the way up.
You know what? No, I ain't gonna say that. Jaguars will be my 7th seed.
No, I think
they're gonna beat the Panthers. So I put them at 9-7.
But I think they lose in week 18.
But even if they do that, they have the tiebreak over the Colts. They beat
but if Houston wins out, Houston's in.
No, they're the 4 seed, so somebody's gotta be 7.
Right.
It can't be the Colts, and it won't be the Steelers because they beat the Steelers for the tiebreaker, and it won't be the Raiders, so it would be them by default.
I'm gonna stick with my preseason.
You know what? No, I take it back.
They have the tiebreakers.
There's a tie.
Oh hell!
That's what gets the Steelers in the playoffs, baby. The Jags tie. Yes.
Go ahead.
You just gonna keep pushing on that tie.
Yes.
It's not gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. I'm
gonna just go with the playoff picture that I had from the beginning of the season. I had the Ravens as the 1 seed. I had the Bills as the 2 seed. Chiefs gonna be 3. I don't want to believe in the Jaguars. They've looked like they buns, but I think that they're gonna win out and be good.
They have the Panthers coming up.
Then I'm gonna go Browns, Bills, Steelers.
You just said that we're the 2 seed.
My bad, y'all in the 6. Browns, Dolphins, Steelers. First, Dolphins, Browns, Steelers.
Dolphins at 6.
Dolphins. So that can happen. It just depends on what the Browns.
So the Browns got the Browns.
If the Browns lose tonight, right? They'll drop.
They'll have to drop
6, so it can happen.
They got that. It is. They have the Jets.
It's definitely possible still.
They have the Jets tonight. Then they're on.
Which would be the Chiefs' dream. Because they don't
to face the Browns in the playoffs.
They don't want to see the Bills or Dolphins in the playoffs.
I don't think they want to see that. I don't think they want to see that defense. I don't think they want to see that defense in the playoffs.
No, actually, you're right. You're right. That defense.
Joe Flacco in the playoffs is different Joe.
It might be, but I'm saying you think that offense wants to see Miles Garrett.
So you have the Dolphins losing to the Ravens but beating the Bills next week.
Yes,
and so does he.
Okay, losing to the Ravens. Beating the Bills.
I think
I'm just getting receipts.
I think no, it's fine. I think.
I already had y'all split.
Yeah, I did too.
We had it this way.
I did too.
You guys do realize like the Dolphins have beaten the Bills once in like the last 10.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
But
I think they. I like what I saw. I like what I saw from them against Dallas, and I think they beat you guys in a similar fashion.
What about
that old-fashioned 1990s NFL football?
What about the victory that you've seen makes you think they could beat the Bills though?
Because it was one of those games where they went out of their element to win. They're normally, No. But I'm saying we've seen that from you guys plenty of times before.
Which running the ball?
No, we've seen you guys win. Yeah, we've seen you guys win running the football. We've seen you guys with Josh Allen having a big game. We've seen you guys win, but I haven't seen Miami win these physical, ugly games where the passing game is not lighting up.
My only issue with the Bills right now is they have not been able to get Diggs involved.
No, that's exactly what should make them more scary.
Exactly. Diggs has been off for like the last 4 or 5 weeks.
But that's what I'm saying.
And they're still winning.
But that's what I'm saying though, is the Chargers game, he wasn't involved. And if they had a better offense or better quarterback, they would have won that game. Because remember, it's Easton Stick. It's not Justin Herbert.
Yes. I don't know.
So, I don't know, because to me the reason that game was even that close was because Bills special teams first of all muffed the punt that put them right there to score that touchdown.
Either way, the opportunities were there for them.
Because you're playing the what if game. So if we want to play it, we can play it.
Here's the thing: when we see the Bills lose, what it is always, you guys are hurting yourselves.
Yes.
So why would I not believe that could still be the case in another game?
That's not a Stephon Diggs thing, though.
I ain't got nothing.
But what I'm saying is they haven't been able to get Diggs involved, right?
Yeah.
So it's like other guys have to touch the ball more, which brings in more times that.
But what's been the knock on the Bills for the past couple of years and the beginning of the season?
Turnovers.
No.
Besides that, it's the Josh Allen and Diggs show.
It's
the Josh Allen and Diggs.
Josh and Diggs. And who else?
So now for the last 5 weeks, they found other ways to win.
But
beyond that,
and now you're gonna ding them for it.
No. But what I'm saying is, like, it just hasn't looked.
Oh, it doesn't look right to you now? Now the look matters, huh? Oh, with the Chiefs, it didn't matter. The look didn't matter. The look matters.
I said it was concerning.
I don't know.
Over when y'all play a team and Diggs needs to be the one to do it, will they just turn it on and he just starts doing it?
This is
turn on.
This is one thing from the Bills that I've been needing to see where, and you guys
during the Eagles game, you saw Superman Josh.
And
during the Cowboys, you saw them finally win a game without needing Josh.
But Diggs was good that game.
What?
Against the Eagles.
Okay.
He had like 80 yards and a touchdown.
So the one thing I will give the Bills credit for, and you guys heard me say it a lot of times before, this is the time of the year where the best teams win football regardless. They win football games in different manners.
And guys,
they have the ability to adjust. The Bills have been doing that over the last month or so.
With the toughest schedule during that span.
I have to give them credit.
With the toughest schedule during that span.
And on top of that, I said this before. I didn't get to say it here. Oh, no, I did say it here. The Bills, they undefeated since Josh Allen's breakout season in December. They don't lose in December.
Yeah.
Since 2020. And 2019 was their last December loss.
But they lose in January.
In the playoffs, yeah. You gonna ding them right now? You want to talk playoffs right now?
No, I'm not talking playoffs. I'm just still saying that the Bills would lose to the Dolphins. That's all I'm saying.
What makes you think that the
Bills
Dolphins going to beat them?
What makes me think the Dolphins?
There's nothing the Dolphins have done in the last 5 years that should say
It's just that I had them splitting in the preseason.
So there's no logic. He just wants to stick to his pick. Is what I'm hearing.
No, I think they learned.
Playing well. It's not like the Dolphins are just sucking.
I think off that Dallas game, they learned how to win a different brand of football.
Like
they're going to need that brand of football to beat Buffalo. If the Dolphins
would have beat them the first go around, I would have had the Bills winning in week 18. But I always said that they were going to split.
But does it concern you how much of a blowout it was?
The Dolphins.
No, because if that was the case, then I would have said that did it concern me that the Ravens blew out the 49ers. But I think if they played again, it wouldn't be that way.
The Dolphins beat the Bills last year with 2 rookie corners in their secondary and
two backup safeties, 2 rookie corners.
But that's their only victory against the Bills in general in the last couple of years. What makes you think it's going to change?
5 years.
Now the Dolphins got busted by them.
Did the Raiders not just beat the Chiefs after not beating them 7 straight times? Like, at some point.
Who's better right now, the Bills or the Chiefs? Who won that game, the Bills or the Chiefs? The Bills better than the Chiefs.
No. So, but here's the difference. Are you saying that the Bills are on the decline like the Chiefs are on the decline?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
No.
That's why the Raiders won. That's why the Raiders won.
I'll shoot him some bail because I actually think the Dolphins are a very good team. So I'm not going to say I'm not going to sit here and act like the Dolphins are like.
At least you can say
they're a good team.
They're very good. They're very good. The Dolphins are good. The Dolphins are.
I keep telling you, since Joe Brady is taking over, this ain't the same Bills team that you keep on thinking about.
The Dolphins and the Bengals are the only 2 teams that scare me in the AFC in relation to the Bills.
Not very good.
And I've been saying that for the last couple of years.
That's good.
What are you saying? Not the Bengals now. Bengals with Burrow. Bengals and Dolphins were the only 2 teams the last 2 years that have actually scared me in terms of being a Bills fan.
Okay.
I feel like those are 2 tough.
No.
They've always played
There's no. I'm afraid of the Chiefs, but they've shown over and over and over and over again that they can beat them.
Yeah, they've always played the Chiefs good.
Right.
Except in the playoffs.
But
no,
even
they-
that,
even
you're
in the
talking about-
Beat them,
but you're
not
talking about
beat them,
third.
But I'm saying they still
third-
played good. But I'm saying
But
they were all winnable games.
I mean, 13
But they didn't win.
seconds, overtime game like that.
In
But
terms
that's
of-
Yeah, but why? Okay, but why? Hold on.
That's
You
not
asked
if
if
you
we're
scared.
scared, and I'm saying no. I'm not
that
scared.
was literally a flip of the
Why would I
coin.
be scared?
So then why would he be scared of the Dolphins?
When they
I don't
got
know.
when they,
I'm
when
not.
they got
I
when
don't
they
know.
got Hill,
I mean,
it was different. No, things changed when they got Hill and Tua. Things changed.
And Waddle.
Okay.
I mean, sorry, not Hill. Just when they signed Hill, Waddle,
Yeah.
and they had that whole dynamic with Tua back there, things changed, and that was just last year. Last year was the first year of it. And they split with them last year, and both games were very tough. Both games probably decided by under 3 points. The two games they played last year.
Last year, yeah. I think so.
So yeah, and then the Bengals, I think, are just terrible with Bernard, just a
matchup-wise.
terrible matchup for them.
And also, like, the difference between the last game and this game is obviously still no Matt Milano, who we
Matt Milano was there.
No, that's what he's
No,
saying. He's saying
I'm talking
there's
about he's
no.
not
Oh,
there.
I thought you said still no. I was like, no, he wasn't there. He was
I
there.
did
He's
that. That's
Daquan-
you.
That's what I'm
Daquan
saying
is back though, right?
Yeah, like
No,
Daquan will
no.
be back for that game.
Trey White's still out.
I don't even care about Trey White being there.
Micah
I mean,
Hyde's out right now.
What is Von Miller like? Is
Nothing.
he-
Ron wasn't there. Ron wasn't there anyway.
No, I'm saying, is he going to be the Von
But
that?
it doesn't matter because they didn't need that. They didn't need Bond to beat them the first time.
No, but Micah Hyde is out right now.
Like, you guys have injuries.
Also.
So here's my thing. If we're jumping ahead to this game, which I mean we're gonna talk
No,
about
we're
this
not
next week.
jumping ahead because that's
No. We can move on to the next topic.
All right, cool.
We'll save it for a later time.
Yeah,
All
it'll
right.
be a whole long thing.
MVP
Lamar.
trash. Next MVP.
I've been riding the Lamar train for like a month. I've been waiting for this to happen. I'm very happy.
I
hate
if he
McCaffrey.
if he becomes
I hope.
if he
But
becomes
Lamar.
the MVP, then I can no longer take the MVP serious.
Okay, so
It would be a
here we
quarterback.
go, here we go, here we go.
His numbers are not that great.
Lamar Jackson.
Touchdown.
No, it's the
It's
yards.
everything.
It's the yards.
It's the board.
It's the yards too.
Lamar Jackson would be the worst statistical MVP since like the 90s.
Bro, his numbers.
It's
are not-
everything.
Season today, sure.
He's
No,
still on pace
it's
for that.
everything.
It's so bad.
Okay.
I mean, not that he's bad. He's playing great.
Okay. But
There's so many categories that he's not even
He's
top
fi-
10
he's
at
15th
his
in-
position.
He's 15th in passing yards.
He's meeting
not-
everything he
when he
does.
won
I
the
don't wanna
MVP
call-
the first time he wasn't top.
No, he was
No,
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 he
no,
had-
no, no,
he
no,
was bad.
He led the league in
passing touchdowns.
No, but he had
only had
no, but
3,500.
it's
Hold on,
hard. It's
touchdown
hard, but it's
didn't
every.
You don't understand.
But how many
Yards
rushing yards
was
did he have?
Time out.
On top of that,
This
well,
hasn't rushed yards
well,
yet.
no, but what was total yards?
That's what I'm saying.
What
Total
was
yards.
What
is
was his
still the
total
same.
touchdowns?
Not total touch. That's the same.
Listen,
Touchdowns is the only
What's his total
difference.
touchdowns
No,
right
it's
now?
not.
Hold on, we'll look.
Yes, it is.
All right, look. Right now, Lamar leads the league in nothing. He leads in no categories.
Right.
And the only category he leads in is running as a quarterback. He leads in nothing that people actually value the quarterback position to do.
And he only has like
But-
two.
and-
He only has two rushing
Hold
touchdowns.
on. He is literally middle of the pack in all of those statistical numbers. The biggest difference between
But he
his
rushed all the
MVP,
best.
the biggest difference between his MVP year and this
Passing
year
touchdowns.
is that
Passing
in his MVP year, he
Let's
made up for
see this
74.
year.
He made up for 74%
I got
of the
it.
Ravens' touchdowns in his
Okay.
MVP year.
So,
Here,
Right now,
hold on.
hold on.
No, it's not. No, it's not. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why
I
right
can't
now.
even finish.
I'm going. Just 1 second. I'm going to tell you why. He had 43 total touchdowns
Yes,
his
20
MVP year.
Yes, 24.
He has 24 total touchdowns this
24.
year.
That's
That's not just passing.
He has two rushing touchdowns.
36.
He has 5 rushing touchdowns this year.
Yes, because he had 36 passing when he won the MVP. So he only is off by by 2 rushing touchdowns right now.
But
So
he's off 19
I got
total.
you.
no, that's what I'm saying. I said
All right,
that the
I got
only
you, Queens.
the
Look,
biggest
look, look.
difference between then and now is the passing touchdowns.
47
And-
quarterbacks.
yeah, because
What about his completion percentage?
47 quarterbacks.
What about his
have won
QBR?
MVP. None of them have won the MVP and not been top 10 in passing touchdowns. Only one quarterback in the last 35 seasons has thrown fewer than 25 passing touchdowns, and that was Steve McNair in 2000.
I got one better for you. From 2017 to 2022, last year, the MVP has led the NFL in touchdowns.
Yeah.
He has 24 touchdowns.
Yes, I said that's the only thing you can say why he's not the MVP.
Here's another one.
I'm not gonna
hold on. And 24 touchdowns to 13 turnovers.
So right now he's also
Right?
so he's 15.
13 turnovers.
So he's
His
15.
MVP year,
So
he
he's
had
15.
he only had like 6 turnovers.
He's
Right.
15.
So 6 interceptions.
He had 7 interceptions. He only has
Okay.
7 interceptions right now.
But
you're not.
No, he had 8 total turnovers his MVP year.
So right now,
He has 13 right now.
right now he has
8
15.
to 43, and now he's got 24 to 13.
He's 15th in the league right now in passing yards.
I mean,
and
I'm not
he's
saying he's the MVP, but
And not only that,
he's not in the conversation.
no, but
He shouldn't be.
He
shouldn't be in the conversation.
Here's my favorite
He's
one.
also 8th in the league
Right.
in QBR as well.
The year he won MVP,
Not bad.
he
Given
accounted for
there's
6
7 other quarterbacks that are better than him at QBR right now, and one of them is the quarterback he just beat this past week, who's still number one in the league in QBR.
He was
Okay.
he accounted for
He is the
67%
MVP.
of
He's much more
his
an MVP candidate.
team's
Sam Howell,
touchdowns.
sorry ass.
his
Sam Howell.
this year.
You was
Hey,
say that.
This year he's
He's
at
like Desmond Ritter.
He's at
50
Who's talking? You never saw this, Eric.
52. Okay.
Both of them.
like his numbers are
I'm
down
Deuce,
across the
this
board.
Eric.
Yeah,
You got
because like the difference for him this year is like he has all the yards. Like when it comes to the getting the yards and putting his team in position to score a touchdown, he does all those things still. The only difference is when they're in the goal line, they're handing it off instead of him running for it or him just doing a dump off pass. Like that's the difference of what his MVP was to year right now.
His
Because
QBR is still middle of the pack.
It is.
But it's 8th. How is that middle of the pack?
There's other MVP candidates that are ahead of him right now. Like Brock is 1, Josh Allen is 2 in QBR right now.
Josh Allen would be the MVP if they won 9-6. Now, if they finish 11-6 and they win the AFC East, then he'll probably win the MVP.
All right, so I will
But how much are you giving this to Baltimore? How much are you giving this to Lamar?
I was going to say
their success so far
this
because their run game is their defense is first overall. Their run game is first overall.
Right.
Hold on. So
their tops is so many different statistical categories.
If the defense is a thing of like why they shouldn't win MVP, last year when Jalen Hurts was in the conversation, the Eagles' defense was damn near tops and everything, right?
Yeah, but
hold on. But he was still in the conversation.
But you got to bring up Jalen Hurts' numbers. No. Don't dismiss his numbers.
Yeah,
his numbers lap Lamar numbers.
22 passing touchdowns, but he had 15 rushing touchdowns. And that was the difference, right? Okay,
that's a big difference, dude. Lamar got to score 13 more touchdowns over the next 2 weeks to make that up. That's a big difference.
Okay, but what? And I just said the touchdowns are the only thing that you can say that is the reason why he can't win MVP. Which I'm not.
His passer rating, his QBR, and not his completion percentage isn't up there.
All right, so I say one thing.
Here's the problem with that. When it comes to a certain quarterback like Lamar, you have to look at only certain statistical categories. You're never going to look at him as a Patrick Mahomes type passer.
I'm not looking at Lamar.
Never.
So just like Jalen Hurts, you're never going to look at Jalen Hurts to have astronomical numbers in certain categories. You're only going for those type of quarterbacks. I'm only going to be concerned with how many times did they score. When I look at Cam Newton, I'm not looking at Cam Newton to see how many times he's thrown for 5,000 yards. How many touchdowns did he score? Because he's a different dual threat type quarterback. So I have to take that into effect.
That's the thing, though, with Lamar this season. The reason why is because they're handing off to so many different backs.
So why is he getting
because they don't want him to be either running it.
So explain having the number 1 overall defense then.
So what I'll say about
because that's his job. He can't be in the MVP conversation. Christian McCaffrey can't be in it. If you're talking about defense.
Hold on. Yes, they can.
Yes, they can because of the numbers. No, you take it.
Okay, so I was going to say this. If you give Lamar Jackson the MVP this year, you run the risk of the award just becoming the quarterback on
the best quarterback on the best team.
That's it.
But
he is not having an MVP year if you compare it to past MVPs. If anything, this is the year, right? Everyone always complains about this is a quarterback award.
This is the year that somebody who's not a quarterback.
This is the year where someone not a quarterback should get it.
Yeah,
you be making that argument too, that the year that Josh Allen had after Lamar won his MVP.
Was better than his.
Was better than
Lamar.
Better than Lamar.
He lost to an Aaron Rodgers. Right? Aaron Rodgers storyline.
That TD
It was a
interception ratio.
storyline.
The 4 picks.
So with CMC, to your point, all right. So I just went back last 2 running backs to win it: Adrian Peterson, Marshall Faulk. Okay, Adrian Peterson, 2,314 total yards, 13 touchdowns. Obviously, he rushed for over 2,000 yards that year. Marshall Faulk, 2,189 total yards, 26 touchdowns. Right? CMC right now is on pace for 2,189 yards and 24 touchdowns.
Which would be clearly right there.
But not only that, when you watch the 49ers, he's clearly the best player on that team.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
I just
So why are we trying so hard to continue to give it to a quarterback?
we hadn't seen it.
Well, so see,
Trey's been showing us that the quarterback's gonna get the award. That's why I think it's Lamar too.
I don't have Lamar as my front runner, but I think he should still be in the conversation.
He shouldn't be in the
No,
conversation.
All right, you can put him in the combo again because
We can
he's
put
on
him
the
in-
best
we can
team.
put
And
him
he's
in
a
the
quarterback, and he does
We-
amazing
we
things.
can put-
He does everything for them other than scoring a touchdown.
He's
Literally, when you think of like yards accounted for,
Yeah.
he is the offense.
No, so I get
Everybody
I
knows
get that. Here,
Josh Allen
my
Yes.
the only quarterback that actually has the numbers that fit an MVP is Josh Allen. But they are 9-6 right now. Even if you look at his turnovers, Patrick Mahomes won it last year with 17 turnovers.
Yep.
Josh is at 18 right now. Let's say he plays 2 clean games.
That was my
He is
question.
the only one that has the actual numbers that match other quarterback MVPs.
If the Bills,
Well,
if the
well,
Bills win the
I don't know
division,
about
where's
that.
Josh's chances?
I
That's
don't
what I
know
was
about
gonna
that 'cause
ask.
I think Dak has the numbers. I think Brock Purdy will have the numbers. Like those
No.
guys.
Dak, I'm sorry, Purdy can't do it if we're all sitting here saying that Christian McCaffrey's the best player on the team. I can't
And CMC.
fathom this.
So exactly, and that's
So that eliminates him from me.
Numbers.
That eliminates
No,
him
but all right,
from me.
so because most
McCaffrey-
right, so
And
yes,
we saw
Right,
that-
so if we're
we
talking
saw
about
that
most-
even though CMC was the best player, Brock Purdy had the better odds because he was a quarterback.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, that's a
because he's
joke.
a quarterback.
that's the problem.
But that's the problem.
part of the problem.
It shouldn't be just the quarterback. CMC and Tyreek Hill
Oh,
this year
yes.
have proven to be better than all these quarterbacks.
Like to me, if Josh goes here and they win out,
He's the only quarterback who could justify it.
the conversation should be only between 3 people: Josh,
CMC
McCaffrey,
and
Hill.
Yes.
That's the conversation. Right now, the conversation should only be Hill and McCaffrey. There shouldn't be anybody else in this conversation.
So, and to your point,
So you don't
I
think
had
so?
Dak. I had Dak before. I had Dak before these last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
His
He-
numbers.
he-
His numbers were close enough.
But they just don't win. They just haven't won.
They haven't won, and his numbers are starting to just dip a little bit.
And his numbers are dipping in December, which is also bad.
And also, I just
Plus
in terms of like MVP stuff, I know recency bias and all that stuff, which is why Brock Purdy is probably not going to win it because he just had the game that he just had.
Mhm.
I think this is the year to give it to the non-QB.
I do think so, but
Quick
I will
interjection.
say that if
The Pistons are up 15. I'll throw it out there.
Over the Celtics in Boston,
damn, I should have picked.
going into halftime.
Plus 900.
Wait, I just picked the
Two-
over on
it's
that
2
one,
minutes.
so
2 minutes left until half.
I picked
That's
the
all.
over.
Go ahead.
So,
What the hell?
I do think that if Tua balls out in these last 2 weeks and they win,
he ain't listening.
no.
not
But this is
He's not listening.
This is the reason.
If he balls out, it's because Tyreek Hill balled out. So I'm still
We don't
going
know that
Tyreek Hill.
for sure. What I'm saying though,
We don't know that for sure.
yeah,
When has Tua balled out and Tyreek didn't ball out?
That's a good
against
question.
the Jets.
Tua didn't ball out.
I mean, it was a solid game. It wasn't.
He didn't-
Okay,
He ain't
fine.
ball out.
Okay, a solid
It was a
game.
solid game. It
Okay,
was a solid
but Tua going for
But-
like 400 yards or
Okay,
300
but
yards,
again,
that's Tyreek Hill must have gone off.
Tyreek got like 35, 40 yards.
No quarterback is doing that without their best player.
I agree.
But their best.
I agree, and I
Like,
do
you
think
can
that's
say- you
too
can
much
say
hate
Josh
on
is throwing
too much
for
hate
no
on
damn
Tua.
300-400 yards without Diggs.
Oh.
We know that. So if Tua doesn't do it with Tyreek, like that's not. What is that? Like it's just like it's just him.
No, you're right.
No, he's not right.
You're He is
He's
right.
Yes,
not right
he is.
because every yard
Is
is
Josh doing that without Diggs?
He has this past month.
if
No. Without him on the field. I'm not.
no, I'm not saying we're not talking about on the field. I'm saying he's not balling out if Hill isn't balling out. That's what I said. I didn't say he's not balling out if Hill's not on the field. I said he's not balling out unless Hill is going for $150 or something like that. Like Hill's going off, and in the highlights we're gonna see like Hill. We're gonna see 350 to 400 yards of offense, and you're gonna see Hill getting a screen pass and taking off, or a slant and taking off.
So that's why I don't remember the exact stat what I saw, but it was something to the extent of Miami leading the league in yak, right? Like Tua.
Makes sense.
But also being one of the most efficient teams in the league in terms of deep passes.
Yeah, they'll throw deep balls all the time, but when they do, it's usually
exactly. But it also shows that a lot of it is quick slants to the hill and him taking it to the house.
Screens.
Right. So here's the thing. Also, Tua has a monster game. To their point, that means Hill has a monster game.
Yes.
Hill is then approaching 2,000 yards.
If
He's not going to.
If Hill gets 2,000 yards, he should be.
I feel like he shouldn't need 2,000.
No. I don't think he needs 2,000 anymore because he was hurt. He missed one game. He was on pace for 1,993 yards before he got hurt. To be exact. That him being hurt one game shouldn't be held against him.
Where you getting your numbers from?
No. The thing is, The thing is,
you getting your numbers from,
man? Do my research, man.
The thing is, it will only because we've seen other guys that have gotten that and not be in the MVP conversation.
So
we had Cooper Kupp did it a few years ago, never in the MVP conversation,
which was wrong.
But and hold on, and then
no, not wrong. It was rightfully so.
Right. And then we also had when Megatron did the same thing. He was never in the MVP conversation.
But
and Jerry Rice.
What were they going up against? That's the difference.
They been going up.
So when Cooper Kupp, this would have been 2 years ago. So this would have been the Aaron Rodgers one.
That's what you're going up against.
It might have been the Josh Allen one that was better than the Lamar one, and the Aaron Rodgers at the same time. He wasn't going to beat that.
Yeah, that's why. But this year,
who is he going up? The quarterbacks
wide open.
The quarterbacks aren't there.
Yeah.
So it's him versus CMC. I would give it to CMC over Hill. Even just based on the numbers and everything else, the better team, all that kind of stuff.
Go ahead. Oh, my bad. To a point. Patrick Mahomes without Tyreek last year had 10 games where he threw for more than 300, 2 games where he threw for more than 400.
Yes. I don't know what that means, sir. He still has a 1.
But
so that goes with this argument.
I'm saying, well, it's different though, because we're talking about Yak and how Tua is getting his passing yards and things like that. If Travis Kelce is your guy, he's not a big Yak guy. Sometimes he got a little wiggle and he be skirting up out of there, but it's different. It's not the same as a Jamar Yak. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same.
But I will say that I believe the Chiefs were one of the leaders in Yak.
Yes.
At least one of the years with Hill.
I don't know about really? That's what I'm saying. I'm saying last year, I don't know.
They were top 10 in Yak last year as well.
Top 10 in Yak. I mean,
the Chiefs.
It dropped though. I'm saying in terms of what their Yak production it dropped.
Yes. And then the Dolphins went up considerably. Yes.
That's all I was saying. In terms of why Tua, it's the same thing with Brock Purdy.
The thing is, Tua, to compare his stats before Tyreek Hill, we also have to remember that
I don't think that's fair.
He didn't have any receiver at that time until he got Waddle the year before. But Waddle's a rookie. You don't expect him to just bust on the scene like Justin Jefferson.
I don't like the Tua hate. I always thought Tua was very good from the beginning.
He's a good quarterback. No one's saying Tua's great.
He was that guy in college. He was that guy coming in.
Fine quarterback.
He was you gotta put respect on Tua's name. Put some respect on Tua's name. Come on,
fine young man.
Haters. Put respect on Tua's name.
There's only like 5 game changers
4
in the NFL.
4.
5.
4.
Who are your 5?
No.
Who are your 5? I want to know what the 5th is. You know my 4.
I'm not saying
my 4 are obvious.
Mahomes, Lamar, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and who?
And I have Jalen Hurts as a game changer.
Oh no.
Okay. I'm not mad at that.
Jalen Hurts.
Yes. All right.
That he can be a guy that's like, bro, when we need it, he can get it.
You know, I take that back. Yes, there are more than just the 4. But there are levels to it. That's the only thing I'm going to say. There are just levels to it.
He would be lesser than the other 4 quarterbacks.
Yes, I agree. But he is a game changer. I think
just like Joe.
He sure did.
I think Dak is a game
He's done
changer. I
everything
think
right.
CJ Stroud potentially is one too. Like I have guys, but there are levels to
You
it.
have to get to a certain threshold of success for me in order to be in that threshold. And I think all 5 of those guys have.
I think you can see it though. At the same time,
I
feel as though
if you ask me right now to choose who I want my quarterback to be for my franchise moving forward, Hurts or CJ Stroud?
Stroud.
I'm taking Stroud.
Yeah, same.
Which is why I'm not putting him in this. I'm not having him in
I
this
don't know if I
5
agree with
category right now.
I don't know
I
if
would
I
take
agree
CJ
with
Stroud over Hurts.
I don't know.
If you're telling me moving forward with my franchise,
Moving
I'm
forward,
taking
CJ Stroud is a top 5 quarterback for me.
I think even if
I'm not
CJ Stroud is a better passer than Jalen Hurts, I feel like
the
running game is
intangibles
different.
that Hurts has and what he does with his
In
legs.
terms of
that's a
talent,
beautiful
No,
story.
When you talk about talent,
Stroud reminds me a lot of Burrow.
Jalen Hurts is a better talent. It's just a matter. It's the same.
As a matter of
conversation.
fact, and people are going to hate me. Sorry, don't. If there's people in the comments, don't yell at me for this.
Hell, you don't got five
I take Herbert over Hurts also,
Herbert. Why?
and then I get to Hurts after that.
That's
So I would have.
Hey, look,
so I would have. So I would have
it's
5,
all
6. I would.
coaching.
I would.
for why
I
Justin
would
Herbert
have her. I would have her
is good
7.
bucks.
yes,
It's all coaching. Why in the big moments where you have against the Cowboys, boom,
They've been.
Justin Herbert
They've been.
going
They've been
game.
unlucky.
Unlucky.
A ton of injuries
For years.
For years.
Yeah, a ton of injuries.
Yeah, nah.
Over the past few
I'm
years.
not
Like,
buying that.
The Vikings
Because
had
they've
luck
been a
last year with
team
the one
that's
win.
been set up free
I'm telling you.
agency wise.
It's almost like the Ravens, not this year, the 2 previous years. Like the Ravens after Lamar's MVP season to now, it was just a ton of injuries, and then everyone started counting them out and things like that. Then they got healthy. Obviously, coaching was a problem for them, but coaching was clearly a problem for the Chargers as well.
See, this is why Herbert's not a game changer because Lamar, with the injuries, they were still in first place until Lamar got injured.
Hell,
And
even
then
with Tyler Huntley, they were
Hold on,
competing.
time out.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that because you still have a hell of a coach, and that matters. It's not just Lamar. You still have John Harbaugh. Who do you have? That's complete. You have injuries and bad coaching, and if Lamar had injuries and bad coaching, I don't think they're doing all of that.
Because who going?
And
I don't think they're doing all that. I think Harbaugh matters.
I love numbers,
I mean,
and all that stuff, but just
but
just simple eye test. Justin
Right,
Herbert.
but at least you have
Yes,
Harbaugh. No, I'm just saying that play. I'm saying that if I took away Harbaugh, I don't think Lamar's
He
going
looks
to be
the
able to. I think that matters. I think that matters for both of them. I'm just saying
It's more than just looking the part
What?
physically. Like he does
All the
things.
quarterbacks that we named have good coaches.
Except for
You lost me. I don't know where you're going.
No, talking about
so
Andy Reid,
you said that
John Harbaugh,
you
Zach
have to
Taylor.
put in John Harbaugh as one of the reasons.
Just a factor.
I know.
Home
So I'm
Darn.
saying you have to put the factor for all the other game changers because they all have good head coaches that we named.
They have somebody who can steady the ship. Yes, they have people who can steady the ship. Yes, I agree with that. Josh Allen's got McDermott,
Andy
Reid,
Mahomes,
Taylor with Burrow,
yeah,
and then Lamar with Harbaugh. Like they have guys who can steady the ship and keep it on even with injuries.
How
I
do
agree
y'all
with that.
feel about Zach Taylor and Nick Sirianni as coaches? Do y'all put them in y'all's top
I think they're good coaches.
5, top 10
No.
coaches?
Sirianni's doing a great job
Top
this year.
10.
An amazing job this
Top
year.
10.
I would have Sirianni as.
He's-
Ooh, I haven't thought about my top coach. That's not a thing about it.
He's doing what he's doing right now is
Because the way that the Eagles have been able that we got on them early about
been there. They've been to the playoffs.
with no offensive coordinator or with a new offensive coordinator, new
And
defensive coordinator this season, there were opportunities for them to falter and they haven't. They've had question marks, but they've still been able to upkeep them running. I don't want to say running over teams, but them going ahead and
They just win games.
getting their victories.
Right. Last.
How much of that is on Sirianni?
Don't know. But last thing before we get out of here,
Good chunk.
because we're definitely way over time, but I want to at least get into this real quick. Russ, the Broncos. This was heavy for me as a playoff That was my playoff team.
Yeah.
Right?
Bite
and
that.
then, hold on. I did, but then some people were trying to sip the Kool-Aid and say that the Broncos could make it to the
I
playoffs.
thought they could.
I thought they could have. 2 weeks ago, I knew it was fall off.
I did take a sip, and then I realized there was no sugar in it, so I spit it back out.
No, the way the schedule played out and the way that the AFC quarterbacks were dropping, I felt like they had a chance.
No.
It was the Patriots.
They've been bad. They stay bad. It ain't going to change. They won a couple of nice games. Good for you.
Yeah.
But
their fashion of loss has shown who they really are.
I hate what I'm hearing about how they're treating Russ right now.
What do you mean?
From what I've heard, besides the benching and now this releasing thing, from what I've heard, at least it sounds what's going on X and what I've seen from Dan Orlovsky and others is that they told this man that they were releasing this man 2 months ago.
Oh, yeah.
So you gonna tell me you gonna release me 2 months ago, but you still want me to win games, lead this team,
right?
But you release it. What am I playing for then?
So I have two.
You gonna want me?
I have two thoughts about that.
Playing for a job next year.
Correct.
That
so I have two thoughts about this.
That's crazy messed up for a franchise.
I think
it
is messed up, but it shows Russ how professional he's been.
Yep.
Just in terms of like handling it and things like that. It's messed up, but I do kind of like the team being honest and open with the player. There is something to be said about that instead of completely blindsiding him.
But my thing is you're closed-minded. Like I can't even earn to be here. You just flat out telling me you don't want me.
And even
ain't nothing you can do.
Yeah. No,
to show me that I don't
guess what? Your last couple performances have shown me why.
This was 2 months ago, though.
Yeah, I know.
You didn't know what this was going to be.
Hold on.
We was on a winning streak.
Hold on. Your last two performances shows me why I came to you 2 months ago and told you I was going to release you.
But
because when we need a win, when we need big plays in games that we're supposed to win, not against good teams, you're still not making the plays.
So it's a crappy thing to do, and we can't I understand that, like his play, I understand all that stuff, and even what I said about the team being honest, like that's great, but it's still a crappy thing to do.
But
and it puts him in a terrible spot with the team.
To address your point, though, Sean Payton said today or yesterday that they're trying to win football games. That was not honest. That's a lie. Jarrett Stidham is not the answer if you're trying to win.
Right. It was
playoff contention.
No. Yes. Correct. You guys have the same point because it's clearly not about winning football games. It's about the contract and the guarantees that come along with it.
Yeah.
And they're not being honest about that, though.
Right. I agree.
They're trying to brush it under.
So honestly, I pointed this out to Deuce before. I said that if you look at Russell Wilson's statistics this year and his performance, they are very comparable to the year that he won the Super Bowl.
Where's the Legion of Boom at?
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So to me, clearly, you can win with his level of production depending on how you build this team. And the Broncos, hold on. And the Broncos were supposed to be a team that only needed somebody to steady the ship.
No, but I don't.
The
reason I don't like that because now you're comparing Russell Wilson in his I don't know what year is he in?
6 years ago. 6, 7 years ago.
I think it's 15 or 16.
Whatever year he is in his career.
That was when he lost.
That was year 2 or 3.
Right.
It was just rookie contract.
No. I'm saying this year.
No, I'm saying you're comparing him now to him 26 in his first or second year in the league.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's not good.
No, but what I'm saying, but my point is that type of production was able to win in this league
back then.
See, but
I still think
it could still win.
It could still win if the Broncos themselves were the team that we thought they were. They were supposed to be a team that just needed a quarterback to steady the ship.
I think the difference with the Broncos now is they don't have the running game that we thought they would have.
Which is a part of what they were back then. But because the way that we talk about the Jets is how we used to talk about the Broncos. Oh my goodness, if they just had a quarterback.
Correct.
A comparable, steady quarterback.
Looking at those numbers that he put up then, I mean, he's off by 1,000 yards right now, still with 2 weeks left. The quarterback rating is off by 12 points. Man, the QBR is off by 18.6.
You're talking about his Super Bowl year?
That 20. Well, no. I'm talking about that 2015 year where he went for 34-8 because he's on pace.
But that's not the year we're talking.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not talking about
the Super Bowl year. He went for 26-9.
Oh, he's at 26-8 right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's still off.
They have
26-8 versus 26-9,
and they have 2 games.
No, he's off. I'm talking about in other categories.
When we look up in other categories,
How the Broncos, 2 games.
You're looking at
off. I'm asking you how far off.
when the Broncos have won games, Russ has been set up to succeed by their defense or the offense messing up, the defense putting themselves in position to succeed. Russ has got the ball inside the 40-yard line, inside the 25-yard line against the Bills. How did they win that game?
But we also,
Russ was set up. He didn't have to do much. He had like 100-something yards passing, but 3 touchdowns because the Broncos was right there by the end zone. Because Josh Allen didn't want to win that game.
Okay, but think about what the offense is now. The offense has no run game, so it has to be Russ or bust. He's not the type of guy to be that. But if you had a run game that opened up the offense and maybe better receivers, because the receivers really ain't all that either, would it be better?
So
the game when
Javonte
came back.
So I made that big trade for a game manager.
What's up?
I made that big trade for a game manager.
Now that's what we should be talking about. Is the reason why he's being let go is because of what they thought that he should have been.
Well, guess what? I'm sorry.
And that no.
He also agreed to this contract.
That's okay.
The contract that he signs is not a game manager contract.
And it's guaranteed. So he's gonna get his money.
The contract that he signed is, I need you to win this game, Russ, by your damn self, without this run game.
I mean, at the end of the day, like, it's business and it is what it is. And I think that for me, they should at least let him finish out the season, only because it's like, if you want to win, he's your best chance of winning. And if you still have a chance to be in the playoffs, then they should have went for it.
I think we're missing something.
I want to do final thoughts on this. Okay. So you can go ahead with your final thoughts.
Yes. So, I mean, we've obviously discussed the team dynamics, his play, and all that stuff. I think the bigger issue here, and something that should be more of a focus, is when you see players holding out for contract reasons. This is why, right? Like, the team doesn't care. It's only 2 months ago, like, hey, we're going to cut you. We're not giving you your guarantees. Right, so this is exactly why players should be holding out to get as much money as they can.
You better get him, Steve.
That's it. But
final thoughts. So whatever this is, better be your final thoughts.
Yes, he gets the guarantees of this year, and he gets at least 37 next year.
Yes.
So he gets these guarantees. It's just not as much as what it should have been, but he still gets his money. So that's one of the good things with the deal.
This would definitely go down as one of the worst trades in NFL history, for sure, in my opinion. No question about it.
I don't feel like Russ should be complaining. He hadn't earned that money.
All right. Well, for me, I think that what they did was dirty, was wrong. For me, I can understand why Russ. I give all the props to Russ for being able to continue to play in those circumstances and that type of environment, because that is not a healthy work environment as far as I'm concerned. If my boss told me, hey, bro, just to let you know, I'm firing you in the spring. Like, just so you know, I'm firing you. I don't know. I would already be on the lookout. I'd be checked out.
Feelers out.
Yeah, I would already be checking out other jobs and looking for things. I wouldn't even be checked into this anymore. So good on him. But that's going to do it. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for staying here for this extended version with our special guest, Steve. Thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Come on, Steve.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Numbers guy. I ain't know numbers ever lie with you.
Baby.
All right. So, again, please like, subscribe, and share if you haven't already. Please continue to join us. We'll be back next week, Monday Night Countdown, per usual. I have no idea who's playing. So, until then, You do realize you have a mic on, right?
I do. My bad. It's real close.
Man.
I just wanted to see if I could hit it. That was all.
I'm Cordell.
Marcus.
My bad.
Steve.
E-Rock.
Deuce.
No one calls you that.
All right, thank y'all. Be breezy, be easy.
Somebody calls you